People are in a holiday state of mind, and a lot of people aren't playing the markets as much as they usually do. So you have a few playing it, they could push it in either direction they want, and you may start seeing that to happen. And one of our trends that people should watch out for, that's just becoming the news now. Go back to the Trends Journal, January 28th. We warned of a dot-com bust, and now that guy Altman came out warning that China should not be underestimated because they may be the leaders in AI, which we had said back in January that was going to happen. Trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. AI was just born in 2022 for the general public. It's an infant. You don't invest all your dough in the first technology or industrial companies that are inventing something. And that's what happened with AI. Again, when DeepSeek hit back in January, what happened to NVIDIA's stock? What did it go down? 17%? They lost $600 billion in one day. And now look at NVIDIA's stock the last couple of days. And the other high-tech stocks are the, quote, Magnificent Seven. So you have less players playing the market. So those that want to control a lot of things could do a lot of money to control something to bring it up or bring it down. But this is very serious about the AI. Let's go back to 25 years ago. Just before China got into the World Trade Organization, 10% of Chinese 18-year-olds went to college. Now, nearly 70% are going to college. America has 4 million 18-year-olds. You go to college, what are they into? Young people are totally AI high-tech addicted. This is their future, and the Chinese government's doing everything they can to put the money into leading the AI race. So anyway, watch out for dot-com bust. So when the markets crash, gold prices are going to skyrocket. Go back again when the dot-com crash happened. The NASDAQ went down almost 80%. Little George Bush, a little boy of nothing, his ratings were going in the toilet. We were in a recession. All of a sudden, 9/11. Everybody forgot about the dot-com bust. Oh, then they created the fake real estate market and the derivatives thing that brought back the panic of '08 later on. Again, one of my sayings is when all else fails, they take it to war. That's my concern. This is your cover of your Trends Journal back in 2014. You see how happy that guy looks? It's the United States overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in Ukraine. An article written by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. You ready? Washington concluded that Russia needed to be confronted with or distracted by problems that will leave the Russian government less confident or able to counter Washington's aggression elsewhere. Ukraine presented the perfect opportunity for Washington to advance its hegemonic agenda. In a speech at the National Press Club last December, which means December 2013, and people could Google it up, Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland boasted that Washington had invested $5 billion in non-governmental organizations, NGOs, in Ukraine for the purpose to teach democracy. We overthrew the government. She's caught on the phone speaking to the United States ambassador to Ukraine at the time, Jeffrey Pyatt. She says, F you to the UK. We're putting Yats in. Guy's name was Yatsenyuk. They have no idea when they overthrew the government, the people in the Donbas region were Russians. They were forcing the people to speak Ukrainian. They killed over 15,000 people in the Donbas region. People have no idea about this. There's an article that we wrote, again, how the propaganda is being sold. You see this? It's the Sochi Olympics. Weeks before the United States overthrew the government, and just about going through the whole story under this. Leading up to the Sochi Olympics, media and government officials warned of looming terror attacks, hotels in disrepair, filth, yellow drinking water, and homophobes everywhere. The propaganda campaign primed Americans to view Russia unfavorably. That was in the lead up to the war. So to get you to hate the Russians, and then they overthrew the government. So going back to where we are now, there's no way that we said this before they started talking about the so-called summit, that Russia's going to give back the land they've gotten. And they've taken about 20%. And we also said this is just more BS, because let's go back to when Trump was talking about making a nuclear deal with Iran. And what happens? Bombs away over Iran. As they're talking about making a peace deal? So this is just talk. Something could change. All of a sudden, there could be a false flag event. The Russians bombed a nuclear power plant. They'll do something to get the people behind it, just like 9/11. We're going to get that guy Osama bin Laden, dead or alive. Those are his quotes. 90% of the people believe that crap and supported the Afghan war, which is only the longest war in American history, another losing war. Putin's doing what he wants. And again, as much as I can't stand what Trump is doing, I'll put this go back. If Trump was president when this happened back in, the war began on February 2022, there was a peace deal that was being made. But I read George Washington's farewell address. This is a real man that fought. And he says we should not become involved in this stuff overseas. It's been going on for centuries. I mean, what was Ukraine part of Russia for what, 300 and something years? Until Khrushchev became the head of the Soviet Union and he was Ukrainian and said, okay, now it's another country. Again, it's not my business as an American, but it's the business of the military-industrial complex. And again, that's what you have to look at. Look what's going on in Europe now. Germany, been in what, a recession for 2 years, going into their third, borrowing $1 trillion to build up their defense. Oh, and their infrastructure, excuse me. Look at oil prices. More supply than demand. There's a global slowdown going on. And it's just going to keep getting worse. And again, going back to gold, and, everybody's waiting to hear what Powell has to say. Powell, what does Mickey Mouse got to say? Trump forced Powell to lower interest rates in 2018. The facts are there. The worst December in 2018 for the Dow since the Great Depression. January came, he lowered interest rates. Okay, the lower interest rates go, the deeper the dollar falls. The dollar is in decline now. The death of the dollar is begun. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go. Gold is dollar-based, so it's cheaper for people in other countries and governments to buy more gold. So that's where we see it going. Interest rates are going to go down. The economy is going to go down. The lower the economy falls, the lower interest rates will go. And the lower interest rates go, by the way, the more inflation goes up. So it's going to be positive for gold. Let's go back to the facts. Who was the former U.S. Treasury Secretary under Biden? Janet Yellen. What was her last job? Head of the Federal Reserve. All right? George Carlin used to say it's one big club and you ain't in it. It's the same team. They're controlling the show. The Fed's just part of the game. And they're going to put the person in that Trump tells them what to do. And they're going to do it. I call it a crime syndicate, by the way, just to make it clear. That's all it is. All they're interested in themselves and their power. Yeah, like you said, from the IMF to the ECB, who's making this crap up? Like I said, Draghi, one after another. Trump is only concerned about building up the economy. He's invested heavily into it, and that's his bottom line. He did it before, he'll do it again. Let's go back to 2008. I thought the markets would crash again in 2012. They didn't teach me about zero interest rate policy or a thing called quantitative easing in Economics 101 or graduate school. They made up this crap. Artificially propped up the markets. Oh, what did the Federal Reserve do? They dumped in what? $29 trillion to bail out the banks, the bandits that caused it? Oh, not my numbers. Those are the numbers from Bard College, the Levy Institute at Bard College. Now let's go forward to 2020. Trump on Black Friday, March 13th, 2020, locked down the nation, state of emergency to fight the COVID war. What did they do? They brought interest rates down to zero and pumped in trillions of dollars, and Biden administration followed with it. But not only here, all over the world. More fake money, backed by nothing and printed on nothing. Talking about the debt levels? Exploded. According to the numbers, and some people are saying that the debt level isn't 37 trillion. Yeah. It's more like over 200 trillion when you put all the other debt into it, government debt, Social Security, on and on. There's no way in the world they're going to be able to pay this off. So here's what I think they're going to do. Central bank digital currency. Like it, don't like it, want it, hate it. Let's go back to Trump back in 2021. Making fun of Bitcoin, how it's destroying the dollar. This is garbage, blah, 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 blah. Then what happens? He runs for president, gets over $100 million from the crypto people. He gets elected, tens of millions of dollars from them from his inauguration. All of a sudden, the price of crypto doubles over a couple of months. His family's invested in it. He's invested in it. His members of his political team are invested in it. Their kids are invested in it. His friends are invested in it. I believe they're going to come out with a central bank digital currency. We're getting rid of that dirty cash and we're going to digital trash. Let's take a look at China. Nobody's using credit cards or paper money anymore. Everything's digitized. They're going to come out with another currency to do away with the dollar. That's my belief. They're going to invent something new. By the way, I'm a political atheist. I don't like any of these cats. I used to be the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate. I was a chief government affairs specialist for the chemical industry. At 28 years old, I was staying at the Willard Hotel in D.C. and putting my meetings on at the Hay Adams, which is right across from the White House. I was killing environmental legislation at the height of the environmental movement. All I wanted to do was make money and, have a good time. And I started to grow up. As a matter of fact, in my book, Trend Tracking, I write about the late 1970s, the Iranian conflict was breaking out. They taught us to hate Iran without knowing how the United States and England overthrew the democratically elected government of Mossadegh. But no. Anyway, that's when I started to learn. It's a learning process. The cat's only 33 years old. He doesn't know much about anything. Why is he winning? Because the people are disgusted with the mainstream. A very important element. He's getting young people, social media. So the poll's showing that at this point he's going to win. And again, he doesn't really have any solutions, but it's showing you the problems of the people. And again, you've been in New York a long time, and you see it declining. What no one's talking about, think of how bad it got after when they locked down the city. Changed everything. How many for rent signs do you see around? This COVID war, the destruction is incalculable, and no one talks about it. And that little arrogant boy, Andy Cuomo, locked down this place after that little piece of scum out there in California talking about how you left your heart in San Francisco, the place has gone down to crap. Gavin Newsom, another little member of the club boy, a little boy of nothing that comes from everything, as he locks down the whole joint. What is he up in? That place up in Napa Valley where it's like $400 a plate? As he's locked down everybody, they're partying and having a good time. Yeah, that's who these people are. That's who these people are.